In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use Trading 212 as a beginner in 2026. This is without a doubt one of the best places to invest. I now have over £350,000 invested in the stock market, and I've personally tested more than 10 investing platforms. Trading 212 is one of the ones I've stuck with and I continue to recommend. You can start investing from literally £1. It has one of the cleanest user interfaces I've ever used, and it has multiple different account types, making it a good home for your savings and investments. We'll cover which account to choose, how to deposit your money, how to buy your first investment, how to set up automatic investing, important, how pies work, what fees to watch out for, the new SIP, and the mistakes that beginners I think should try and avoid. As always, this video is not financial advice. Investing involves risk. Your investments can go up and down, and you can get back less than you invest. Seek advice from a qualified financial advisor if you're unsure. Right, let's get into it. The first question that beginners often ask is Trading 212 safe? And I think there are two separate things people often mix up here. There is platform risk, which is basically what happens if Trading 212 as a company has a problem. And then there is investment risk, which is what happens if the shares or funds you buy go down in value. Trading 212 UK is authorized and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Client money and investments should be held separately from Trading 212's own company money, which is important because it means your money shouldn't just be mixed in with the company's own business funds. Cash may also have FSCS protection depending on where and how it is held, but this does not mean your investments are protected from falling in value. That is the key point. If you invest £1,000 into a stock market fund and it falls to £800, the FSCS won't step in and say, "Don't worry mate, here's your £200. That is just investing. The value of investments can rise and fall. So when people say, is Trading 212 safe? Yes, it's a regulated platform and it's safe to use. But investing itself is never risk-free. Now, the first step is to sign up to Trading 212 and download the app. If you use the link in the description and enter the promo code James, you can get a free fractional share worth up to £100 when you sign up and deposit at least £1. This is an affiliate link, which means I may receive a commission if you use it, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. When you open Trading 212, you'll see a few different account types. The main ones are the Invest account, the Stocks and Shares ISA, the Cash ISA, the SIP, and the CFD account. Let's go through those because this is where a lot of beginners make their first mistake. The Invest account is a general investment account, so many assume this is the right account for a beginner, but it might not be. You can buy real stocks and ETFs in there, but it's not tax-free. So if you make gains or receive dividends above your allowance, you may have tax to think about. The Stocks and Shares ISA is usually where I'd expect most UK beginners to start. Inside a Stocks and Shares ISA, your investment gains and dividends are protected from UK tax. At the moment, adults in the UK get £20,000 annual ISA allowance. That allowance can be split across different types of ISAs, but the big idea is simple. If you're investing for the long term, using a Stocks and Shares ISA can be incredibly tax efficient. Personally, I now have over £100,000 in my Stocks and Shares ISA, and the reason I care so much about ISAs is because every pound of growth inside that wrapper is protected from UK capital gains tax and dividend tax. Then you have the Cash ISA. This is for savings, not investing. It can be useful for emergency funds or short-term goals, but if your goal is long-term wealth building, cash usually isn't where I'd expect most people to keep everything for decades. Then we have a SIP, which is new for Trading 212. A SIP stands for a self-invested personal pension. In simple terms, it's a pension account that allows you to choose your own investments. Trading 212 has started rolling this out, so not everyone will have access to this immediately, but this is a big feature because it means Trading 212 is no longer just an ISA and investing app. It's moving into pensions too. The important thing with the SIP is that the pensions have different rules. They can be very tax efficient, but the money is generally locked away until later in life. So I wouldn't treat a SIP like an ISA. An ISA is much more flexible, a pension is more for retirement. And then finally is the CFD account. For most people watching this video, I would ignore this completely. CFDs are complex, high-risk trading products where most retail investors lose money. That's not long-term investing. That's speculation. For this beginner's guide, we are focusing on buying real investments like stocks and ETFs, not leverage trading. Now, when you sign up, Trading 212 will ask for your personal details, your national insurance number, some information about your financial situation, and some questions about your investing knowledge. These questions can feel slightly annoying, but they're there because regulated platforms have to check who you are and make sure you understand the basics of risk. You may also be asked to complete a W-8 form. If you're a UK investor buying US shares or receiving US dividends, this form can reduce US dividend withholding tax from 30% to 15% because of the UK and US tax treaty. This is a good thing. So if the app asks you to complete it, don't panic. It's a normal part of investing in US listed companies or funds. Once your account is open, you need to deposit some money. You can start with as little as £1. It's one of the reasons why Trading 212 is so beginner friendly. In the app, go to the menu, tap Deposit Funds, and you'll see a few options. You can usually deposit by instant bank transfer, normal bank transfer, debit card, Apple Pay, or move money from another Trading 212 account. At the time of recording, card payments and Apple Pay can be free up to a certain total deposit amount, but after that, a fee can apply. So don't just keep using Apple Pay because it feels easiest. Check the deposit screen and use a bank transfer where possible if you want to avoid unnecessary fees. Once your money lands, it will usually appear as cash in your account, and cash is not invested. That sounds obvious, but it's another beginner mistake. Just putting money into Trading 212 is not the same as investing it. It will sit as cash until you choose what to do with it. Once you're inside the app, the layout now, it may look slightly different from when you watch this video because Trading 212 updates the app constantly, but the core idea is the same. You'll usually have a home screen where you can see your account value, your cash, your ISA allowance if you're using an ISA, your watch list, your portfolio, and different tabs for searching for investments, viewing your holdings, and accessing the menu. The watch list can be useful, but be careful here. Trading 212 may show popular stocks, top winners, top losers, trending investments, or other categories. That does not mean those investments are good. A stock being popular on an app does not mean it belongs in your portfolio. It could just mean it's fashionable, volatile, or being talked about on social media. As a beginner, I would not build my investment strategy around most bought or top winners. That's not investing. That's being dragged around by whatever everyone else is clicking on this week. Trading 212 also lets you earn interest on your uninvested cash. This can be useful, especially if you've got money sitting there temporarily before you invest it. But there's an important detail. If you enable interest on cash in an investment account, Trading 212 may hold some of that cash in banks and some in qualifying money market funds. A money market fund is generally considered low risk, but is still an investment. That means it's not the same as normal cash sitting in a bank account. The government is also talking about potentially taxing the interest you gain on your uninvested cash, but honestly, do not worry about it for now, and don't let that put you off investing in a stocks and shares ISA. Your investments will remain tax-free. If you want pure cash savings with FSCS protection, look at the cash ISA instead. Now let's talk about actually investing. On Trading 212, you can search for individual stocks like Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, or Tesco's. You can search for ETFs. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. An ETF is basically a basket of investments you can buy in one go. So instead of trying to pick one winning company, you could buy a global ETF that holds hundreds or even thousands of companies from all around the world. This is the route I personally prefer for most beginner investors. Not because it's exciting, it's actually quite boring. But boring is often very good when it comes to long-term investing. A global index fund can give you exposure to companies across the US, UK, Europe, Japan, emerging markets, and more, all inside one fund. You're spreading your money across lots of different companies. To find these on Trading 212, go to the search tab and look under ETFs, or search by the fund name or ticker if you already know what you're looking for. You might see ETFs like VWRP, VUAG, IWRD, or other popular funds. Let's say you found an ETF or stock that you want to buy. Tap on the investment. You'll see a chart, some basic information, maybe performance, instrument details, key documents, and the buy and sell buttons. Trading 212 will let you choose whether you want to buy by number of shares or by value. For beginners, I think buying by value is easier. Rather than saying I want 0.037 of this ETF, you can just say I want to invest £50. That's the beauty of fractional shares. You don't need hundreds or thousands of pounds to buy expensive investments. You can invest small amounts. Before you confirm the order, Trading 212 will show you an order preview screen. Do not skip this screen. This is where you'll see the important details. You'll see the amount you're investing, the estimated number of shares, any commission, any FX fee, and any taxes like stamp duty. Trading 212 does not charge trading commission in the Invest and the ISA accounts, but other costs still can apply. For example, if you buy a US stock from a UK stocks and shares ISA, you may see an FX fee because your pounds have to be converted into dollars. If you buy certain UK shares, you may see stamp duty. That's not a Trading 212 fee, that is a UK tax. But if you buy a UK listed ETF in pounds, there may be no FX fee and no stamp duty. That's why the review screen matters. It tells you what is actually happening before you press confirm. When you buy an investment, you may see different order types. The simplest one is a market order. That basically means buy this investment at the best available price right now. For most long-term investors, buying normal amounts during a normal market hours, a market order is usually the simplest option. You may also see limit orders where you set the maximum price you're willing to pay or the minimum price you're willing to sell for. This can be useful, but beginners don't need to overcomplicate this on day one. You may also see 24/5 trading on some US stocks. That means you can trade outside normal market hours. Personally, I would be careful with this. Outside of normal market hours, there can be wider spreads and lower liquidity. In normal English, that means the price you get might not be as good because fewer people are buying and selling. If you're a long-term investor, you probably don't need to be buying Apple shares at 2 a.m. Now, traditionally, if you wanted to invest regularly on Trading 212, one of the best ways to do that is with pies. A pie is basically your own mini portfolio. You choose the investments, you choose the percentages, and Trading 212 helps you invest across them. So you might create a pie that is 100% a global ETF, or you might create a pie that is 80% global stocks and 20% bonds, or you might create a pie with individual stocks, although I would be more careful with that. The useful part is Autoinvest. Autoinvest lets you invest on a regular schedule, for example, every month after payday. This is powerful because one of the biggest problems with investing is not actually choosing the perfect investment. It's staying consistent. Most people don't fail because they've picked a fund that was 0.1% more expensive. They fail because they invest for 3 months, stop for 6 months, panic during our market crash, then start again when everything is expensive. Autoinvest helps remove some of that emotion. You set the plan, automate it, and let it happen. And in 2026, Trading 212 has added an important new feature: single stock and single ETF Autoinvest. Previously, if you wanted to automate investing, you typically do it through a pie. Now Trading 212 has added the ability to set up recurring investments directly from an individual stock or ETF page. So if you want to invest £100 a month into one ETF, you don't necessarily need to create a pie just for that. You can set up the amount, choose the frequency, and automate it directly. That's a genuinely useful update for beginners because it makes regular investing feel simpler. Pies are still useful though. To create a pie, go to the pie section and choose create your own. Then you can add the investments you want. Let's say, purely as an example, you add a global ETF, a bond ETF, and maybe some small allocations to a specific theme. You then choose the percentage for each investment. The percentages must add up to 100%. So if you chose 80% global ETF, 15% bonds, and 5% something else, Trading 212 will use that as your target allocation. When you add money to the pie, Trading 212 can distribute the money based on those percentages. There's also a self-balancing option where it tries to put new money into the investments that are below their target weight. So as an example, if your global ETF has grown and your bond fund is now underweight, it may direct more of the next contribution into the bond fund to bring things closer to your target. That can be useful, but don't let the app make you think portfolio construction is a game. I would avoid creating a pie with 25 random stocks because it looks fun. A good portfolio is not about how many colorful slices you can create. It's about having an investment strategy you can understand and can stick with. I'd avoid any of the popular social pies made by random people. There are so many flaws with these. Most popular doesn't mean best. There are also ready-made pies from asset managers like Vanguard, BlackRock, and WisdomTree in some areas of the app, including the SIP. These can be useful to explore, but again, read what's inside them. Don't buy something just because the brand name looks trustworthy. Click into the details, look at the exact holdings. On the funds, check the key information document. Understand the risk level, the fees, the asset mix, and what the fund actually holds. Now let's talk about the SIP. This is one of the biggest Trading 212 updates in 2026. A SIP is a self-invested personal pension. The key difference between a SIP and an ISA is access. With the stocks and shares ISA, you can withdraw the money whenever you want. With a pension, you usually can't access it until later in life. That makes a SIP potentially powerful for retirement, but not suitable for money you might need soon. The big attraction with pensions is tax relief. For example, if you're a basic rate taxpayer, putting £80 into a pension can usually become £100 because of that basic rate tax relief. Higher rate taxpayers may be able to claim back additional relief through their tax return. But pensions are complicated and tax rules may change, so make sure you understand the rules or speak to a qualified advisor if needed. The interesting part is that Trading 212 is trying to bring the same low-cost app-based investing experience into pensions, so you can potentially use stocks, ETFs, pies, Autoinvest, and fractional shares inside your pension wrapper. For me, that's a big deal because one of the killers of pension growth over decades is unnecessary fees. A 0.5 or a 1% platform fee might not sound like much, but over 30 or 40 years, it can make a huge difference. That doesn't automatically mean everyone should move their pension to Trading 212. You need to check exit fees, transfer rules, investment choice, protections, whether you're giving up valuable benefits, and whether your current pension has any guarantees. But as a new feature, the SIP is definitely one of the most important reasons Trading 212 is worth paying attention to in 2026. Now, at some point, you may want to sell an investment. To sell, go to your portfolio, tap the investment, tap sell or withdraw, choose the amount, review the order, and confirm. Once sold, the money will usually appear as cash in your account. From there, you can reinvest it, move it to another Trading 212 account, or withdraw it to your bank account. Withdrawals are usually done from the menu under Manage Funds or Withdraw. One thing to remember, selling investments inside an ISA does not automatically withdraw the money from the ISA. It just turns the ISA investment into cash inside the ISA. That can be useful because you can sell something and reinvest it into something else without the money leaving the tax wrapper. If you actually withdraw money from an ISA, Trading 212's ISAs are flexible, which means you can take the money out and put it back in without using your ISA allowance as long as you do it in the same tax year. Now, Trading 212 is known for being low cost, but low cost does not mean no cost ever. Here are the main things to understand. Trading commission in the Invest and ISA accounts is free. Custody fees are free. There is an FX fee if you buy investments in a different currency. For UK investors, this often comes up when trying to buy US stocks in dollars. There can be UK stamp duty when buying certain UK shares, as we've discussed. There can be fund fees inside ETFs, which are charged by the fund provider, not by Trading 212. And again, if you use your card deposits or Apple Pay above the free limit, there may be a funding fee. The big beginner mistake is thinking Trading 212 is free, therefore nothing costs anything. And that's not quite right. It's very low cost, but you still need to understand FX fees, taxes, and fund charges. Let me finish with a quick fire round of beginner mistakes I see beginners make on Trading 212 all the time. Mistake 1 is choosing the wrong account. As we discussed, if you're in the UK and investing for the long term, I would usually look at the Stocks and Shares ISA before a general investment account because of its tax benefits. Mistake 2 is using the CFD account at all. For most people watching this, just ignore it. If you want to invest, buy real stocks and ETFs. Don't wander into leverage trading because the app makes it easy to click into. Mistake 3 is confusing popular with good. Always remember, most bought, trending, and top winners are interesting, but they are not a strategy. Mistake number 4 is buying random individual stocks before understanding funds. Look, I'm not saying individual stocks are evil, but buying an individual stock is inherently far more risky than buying a diversified fund. For most beginners, a broad ETF is probably a better starting point than trying to pick the next Tesla. Mistake 5 is forgetting about fees. Again, a low-cost global ETF can help minimize your fees. You need to do everything you can to avoid things like FX fees, deposit fees from topping up using Apple Pay, and so on. Mistake number 6 is not automating. If you know you want to invest regularly, Autoinvest can make that process much easier, whether you use a Pi or the new single stock and single ETF Autoinvest feature. Automation can help you stay consistent. Mistake number 7 is checking the app too often. Trading 212 is a very good app, but that can make it a problem too. Because if the app is too fun to use, you might start fiddling with your investments more than you need to. I know you're excited, but good investing is often boring. Buy diversified investments, keep fees low, invest regularly, and leave it alone. That's not very exciting, but it works. So that is how I would use Trading 212 as a beginner in 2026. If you do want to try it, you can get a free fractional share worth up to £100 by signing up using the link in the description and entering the promo code James. You'll need to sign up and deposit at least £1 and use the code to claim it. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you want more beginner-friendly investing videos, and I'll be in the comments to answer any of your questions. Take care.